The Sun and other newspapers have said exclusively that Ncuti Gatwa has been fired following some thing over Eurovision. BBC have said, not true, bunch of nonsense, what are you talking about, you morons? So, what is the truth? Welcome to the Tachyon Pulse podcast.
Our Tachyon pulse has been unable to completely penetrate the anomaly.
I'm going to tell you straight off the bat here, there's not going to be anything new in this video that I haven't already told you a million times, but the story keeps going round, and I am going to give a little bit of opinion on what I actually think is going on. But the truth is, as far as I'm aware, and what I've been told by people that actually work on the show, is that at the end of season 2, filming season 2, they shot 2 endings. One where Ncuti Gatwa regenerates, and one where he doesn't. And he goes on to carry on being the Doctor. Why? Because even then, they were not sure if Russell T Davies would carry on being the showrunner. He's carried on writing episodes. He's actually pretty much apparently written the 3rd season. And I will say right now, the 2nd season has been much better. The BBC told Disney that the 2nd season was going to be much better. They sort of went, Disney, when they were negotiating during the 1st season, they were trying to negotiate an extension with Disney. Disney were like, we don't like this. And they sort of said, look, wait for the Christmas special. It's better. It's more like Doctor Who. Less agenda, less all that sort of thing. And Disney went, okay. They saw the Christmas special. It is better. We still don't like it. They said, don't worry. 2nd season is loads better again, and it's got a brilliant finale. And they went, okay, well, we'll wait to see that, and then we'll see what we think. And we'll wait to see what the reaction is of the fans as well. Now, it is true to say the ratings, particularly on the BBC, haven't been amazing. I think they've been hovered around 2 million, but I've looked sort of thing. Again, get into the comments and tell me if I'm a little bit wrong on that. But they seem to have hovered just above 2 million. It would be between BBC and ITV, I think it was the 4th or 5th highest rated show of the day, which actually, considering what's on those 2 channels in an evening, it is their like prime time of the week. I don't think that's terrible. Remember, this is technically a kids show, so I don't think that's terrible. But it only matters what Disney is seeing on their hours. How many people are watching in America and things like that. So was Ncuti Gatwa fired? Let's just get through that. No, he has not been fired. As far as I'm aware, the BBC and Bad Wolf have always defended Russell T Davies and Ncuti Gatwa. Ncuti Gatwa, though, has basically told them, if Russell T Davies goes, I want to go. And that's why they filmed the regeneration sequence, because they weren't 100% certain that they were keeping Russell T Davies. Disney had basically said, we want Russell T Davies gone, we want a different showrunner. The BBC went, just wait. Honestly, like I said, season 2's better, Christmas special better. And Disney, I'm told, held off. Now you've got to remember, Disney can't fire Russell T Davies. They can't fire Ncuti Gatwa. Only the BBC or Bad Wolf could. I think it would technically be Bad Wolf that would have to fire them. I think. But that's the situation. And it's as simple as that, to be honest. Ncuti Gatwa only really agreed to do Doctor Who because of Russell T Davies. If Russell T Davies goes, Ncuti Gatwa wants to go. It's that simple. Now, the whole Eurovision thing, I think it was Eurovision. It's not something I watch. Basically, he was supposed to be an ambassador for it or something. I don't think he was presenting it, but he was something for it. And he basically said, look, I don't want to be involved because Israel are involved and I don't like what's happening in the Gaza Strip, so I don't want to be involved. And the BBC were not happy about that. But they respected his decision. And by that I mean they went, okay, basically, we're not happy, but okay, if that's what you want. And that was the end of it. All I would say is, when these things are in the national newspapers, I would argue that, on the whole, they're not making it up. They may add to stories, but they're not making it up. There is somebody telling them something. And I'm a big believer in there's no smoke without fire. And how often do we see stories like this come out, sometimes, I will drop stories like this, and it may be part of the truth. It may not be the whole truth, because, sometimes you only see perspectives of things. But there is no smoke without fire. The thing is, though, I think a lot of the rumours have come about because he filmed the regeneration sequence, like I said. But that was with a very good reason. The problem is, because he filmed it, and there'll be a small number of people that know he filmed it, that is out there. This then happens with Eurovision, and there will be people involved that work for the BBC that would have not been happy about that, and would have been complaining, maybe to a reporter at The Sun. The Sun then gets 2 + 2, and they equal 5, and they announce that he's been sacked. The problem is, I don't think Ncuti Gatwa is going to continue as the Doctor. That is my personal opinion. I've told you what the facts are. He's done both. He'll go if Russell T Davies does. My opinion is, I don't think he's going to go on. It has obviously upset a lot of the cast with the accusations of woke, constant woke. They've come out and made public statements saying, just watch it. It's a good show. Forget the woke thing. Sci-fi is woke, blah, blah, blah. And I would agree with them to a point. The Tennant stuff in the first few episodes of the first season, though. No. Anyway, they've publicly come out and said that, so they know. And Ncuti Gatwa knows. He knows a lot of the hate that's been aimed at him, unfairly, in my opinion. I actually think he's a good actor. I don't think he's a very good Doctor Who, but he's a damn good actor. A lot of it is because he's black and because he's gay. And that really is out of order. Because that has nothing to do with whether he's a good actor or not. Whether he's charming as the Doctor or not. I actually think that's one of the problems. I don't think he is particularly charming. I don't think he's particularly charismatic. But I do think he's a good actor. So I do think that stuff's unfair, and I do think he's very much aware of that. I think that does upset him. It may be, again, one of the reasons why he requested the regeneration sequence to be filmed, because he just wasn't sure maybe if he wanted to do it. My understanding is the Russell T Davies thing, but we don't know what's going on in the actor's head. That is what I think started this. That is the little small fire tindering away that's creating all this smoke. I don't think he'll continue to be the Doctor. I think we've got maybe 12 months until they film something. Russell T Davies is going off to produce something else. I'm leaning now towards, I don't think Disney are going to extend this deal, but I think the BBC and Bad Wolf are looking for other streaming services to pick it up internationally. Apparently there are conversations with Amazon through Sony, who own Bad Wolf. So, we'll see. But I just can't see it. In which case the BBC have got a big decision to make. I've always told you guys that I'm being told they won't pick up the full cost of this show. They can't afford it. Even if they cut the budget significantly, they can't afford it. So they're going to have to make a decision. Because the Doctor Who generates a lot of money for them through merch, etc., and contracts showing the older episodes and stuff. It's a moneymaker. So they're going to have to decide whether they want to put their money where their mouth is, or whether they're going to continue to try and get someone else to help them. I think it's going to be the latter. But guys, what do you think? With what I'm saying, again, there's so many rumours, so many stories coming out, it's hard to keep track. But I do think that this situation has been caused by that decision over a year ago to film those two endings. I think a lot of the rest is rumour, Chinese whispers, etc. We're going to know soon. In your opinion, what has caused all these rumours? How much of this smoke is really being caused by a fire, or is it just rumours? Get into the comments to tell me exactly what you think. As always, please stay safe, and I'll see you next time.
Our tachyon pulse has been unable to completely penetrate the anomaly.